My dear friend, the five gardens are the five objects of sense enjoyment, and the protector is the life air, which passes through the nine gates. The three apartments are the chief ingredients fire, water, and earth. The six families are the aggregate total of the mind and five senses. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, would anybody continue to read purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The five senses that acquires knowledge, sight, taste, smell, sound, and touch, and this acts through the nine gates, the two eyes, two ears, one mouth, two nostrils, one genital, and one rectum. These bodies are compared to the gates in the walls of the city. The principal ingredients are earth, water, and fire, and the principal actor is the mind, which is controlled by the intelligence, buddhi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiyate Nashtaprayasu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Kaim Tirbhavati Naishtiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Nangayate Kiriyat Krupat Maham Vande Sri Gurum Dena Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Chaitanya Chandrayeswaram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'll read translation one more time. My dear friend, the five gardens are five objects of sense enjoyment, and the protector is the life air which passes through the nine gates. The three apartments are the chief ingredients fire, water, and air. The six families are aggregate total of mind and the five senses. I'll stop the sharing. This is very, the purport is very small for these words, but lots of information, uh, very important things are explained here, and how the body functions with the senses, all these other elements. First we do the recap. If you go a little bit behind these chapters, have been hearing about the allegory explained by Narada Muni to Prachina Barhi. So he was explaining to Prachinbari his own activities, Prachinbari's own activities, how he was enjoying with the sense gratification, and how he was engaging his senses for the material enjoyment. He was explaining that in the form of story, the Puranjana story. And if you see the Puranjana story, we have been hearing about how he also, the same way, was engaging his senses for the material enjoyment, and he was attracted towards women, and he was get so much attraction towards her, and he was doing all the things with her and enjoying the life without any God realization. So the Yavana, and again the Yavana king, he attacked the king, and Jara, the old age, also attacked. Prajvara also, the fear, and everything was attacked at that at his old age, and all his kingdom was captivated by the enemies. So that time, all his citizens, he and the family members, they cannot do anything. So they are in great danger. So they were killing, and they were taking about all the family members, and so he did eventually. That time he was remembering his wife, how he was spending time whole his life with the wife. He was remembering her. So next life he became a woman. So here, by the mercy of love, we can see the mercy of Lord. Even though he was engaging with material enjoyment, so Lord was so mercifully awarded. So as a birth taken in a great family, and he she married to a king. Malayadvaja, he was also great devotee of Lord. So he was a great king also. So by the mercy of Lord, she married to great king, and she followed him nicely at the time of at the end of the life also. They went to Kulachala, the secluded place, for the doing tapasya and all these for higher realization. She followed. Eventually, when they were practicing these, so he died. Malayadvaja died. She was lamenting, and now we can see she's about to leave her body with her husband in the fire. She's about to um, sacrifice her life with her husband. That time, old friend. So the one Brahmana came towards her, and he was saying that, so me and you were staying together for long time. So, but you left me alone, and you are taking so many forms, and you are enjoying all these forms. You almost forgot me. So we were staying together like a swans in the Manas lake, and you were staying with me, and you left me now, and you are enjoying by yourself. And in this regard, so now we can see in these words how the Brahmana, so Brahmana is nothing but he's a Paramatma inside who stays with us forever. That means, so even the relatives sometimes we leave, they leave us, but Paramatma is a Chaitya Guru. He always stay with her. So now the time has come to give the final message to Vaidarbi. So Paramatma came in the form of Brahman, and he is instructing all these. So the important message, transcendental message to her. In this regard, he is telling, so how you are enjoying, you are thinking yourself as a body. So you are not a body, you are a soul. This body is made of these things, these elements. These are all material elements. So with these material elements, you are enjoying, you are thinking yourself as a body. You are identifying yourself as a body, and you are enjoying. So he's explaining all this to Vaidarbi. And so in this verse, Prabhupada is giving what are the elements, what are the elements in the body, how the body is composed of. So today we will discuss what are these senses and how they are originated, and how Bhagavatam explained the formation of these senses, and how we can control these senses, and how we can divert these senses from the material enjoyment to spiritual enjoyment. So we will go one by one these elements given in this verse. In this verse, it said 5 gardens. 5 gardens are nothing but 5 sense objects. So these are also called tanmatras. So these are sound, form, taste, smell, and touch. So these are related with the senses, sense organs. What are the sense organs? Ear, eye, tongue, nose, and skin. These are the organs, sense organs. And they are interrelated with this. If you want to hear what you are hearing, that is the sound. And if you want to see, so you have to see one form. That is the form, the object. It is attached to the sense organ. And also 9 gates are explained here. So 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, mouth, rectum, and genitals. So these are 9 gates. So we are experiencing different things through these senses. And one protector also explained here, that is air, prana. Prana also explained. 3 apartments like earth, water, and fire. The other 2 also, air and ether also there. These are all gross elements. And 6 families. These are like sense organs, senses, and the mind. So these are all 6 apartments. 5 stores also there. These are 5 working senses: hands, legs, mouth, rectum, and genitals. And 5 material elements also explained here. Those are earth, water, fire, and ether. And one woman, so that is mind. Mind also, it is dominating everyone, and it is also controlled by intelligence. So nicely, all the structure of body is given here. The structure of how the body is made of these elements explained in this verse so nicely. And Prabhupada in the small purport also explained what are these elements. So in this connection, I would like to uh, explain how these senses are coming. So if you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, the 6th chapter, in this the Purusha Sukta confirmed. So these senses are connected to the senses of the Virata Rupa. Before that, in the 5th chapter, cause of all causes, how the senses are created also explained. So these senses are created in the first sarga only, in the creation only. So it is not created by Brahma. These elements are created by Lord himself in the first creation. So why these are created? To experience for ourselves, so that living entity can enjoy. So the different senses are explained here. Different senses like eyes, nose, tongue, so ears. So through ears we experience different sound vibrations. Through nose we can experience different smells. To the tongue we experience different tastes. By the skin we feel different touches. So like this, these senses are created when the first creation has happened. In the in the creation, when the Lord impregnates all this Swabhava, Jiva, everything into the Pradhana, that Pradhana is unagitated state. So along with the modes, so the Jivas are impregnated into the Pradhana. Then the Pradhana transformed into Mahatattva. So when the Mahatattva, this is in 3 modes. In the mode of goodness, in a mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Pradhana transformed into Mahatattva. So in this stage, when the Mahatattva predominantly with the mode of goodness, that is called Mahatattva. Mahatattva in the mode of passion, it is called Sutra Tattva. When the Mahatattva is predominantly in the form of ignorance, that is called false ego, ahankara. So in this ahankara, so there are 3 energies of the Lord creates different things, different elements. So false ego is the base, from the false ego, all these elements are created. When the false ego in the mode of goodness, the mind is created through the jnana Shakti of the Lord. Mind is created, and along with sense devatas. So the sense devatas for ears are the devatas, for the eyes Surya, and for nostrils Aswani Kumaras, for the tongue Varuna. So like this, different devatas are also created along with the mind, with the jnana Shakti in the mode of goodness. And in the passion, the intelligence and the 10 senses are created. Knowledge acquiring senses and working senses. What are the knowledge acquiring senses? Knowledge acquiring senses are ear, eyes, nose, tongue, and skin. So we experience different knowledges through these knowledge acquiring senses. And like that, there are working senses also there. So like hands, legs, mouth for the voice, and rectum, genitals. So the purpose, they do some functions. So they are working senses. So in this verse also 9 gates are given. So these are nothing but these working senses and these knowledge acquiring senses. So with the mode of passion, so that is Kriya Shakti, these 10 senses and intelligence is created. When the false ego in the mode of ignorance, gross elements, what are the gross elements? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether are generated. So, along with these gross elements, tanmatras, in the verse, we explained that 5 gardens, these are 5 sense objects means tanmatras. So these are interlinked with gross elements. So after this, false ego transformed into Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Dravya Shakti. Dravya Shakti is material energy. By these, 5 gross elements and 5 tanmatras are created. So all these are created by the transformation of Mahatattva in the form of false ego. So in this, after this, the gradual transformation of these tanmatras and gross elements happen. So first tanmatra is sound. Everything comes from the sound. So sound is the first object from which everything is, all the other elements are created. So it is explained in the 5th chapter of second kind of cause of all causes in the form of creation. The sound transforms into ether. That means for tanmatra, for each and every tanmatra, one medium is needed to go through. Sound, how the sound transfer, how the sound propagates, how it travels through the medium, that is sky. So sky is created. Then the touch. So when the sky is created, so we can touch things. So the touch is created. So the touch is created by the tanmatra touch. The next second object is touch. Then air is created. This is the process explained in this creation, how these tanmatras and gross elements are created. So these two are interlinked. The sound is created at the beginning. It is transformed to ether. From the ether, touch is created. From the touch, air. It needs, in order to touch something, we need some medium, that is air. Air is created. So in the air, we want to see something. So we want to see the form. So otherwise it is not visible to us. In order to see the form, we need light. So fire is created. So see the intelligence of Lord. Everything is created for our enjoyment. So without light, we cannot see. So the fire is created. And then the fire is created, everything is created. We have to eat. How we can eat? Then taste also created. So taste needs something. That means how the taste comes? Taste comes from the water. So water, it is the source for all the plants and animals. So plants grow the water. They give juicy fruits and vegetables. That's how we get the taste. So for the taste also we need some medium, that is water. Then we need smell also. The other sense is smell. How we can smell? Through the earth. Earth is the wide place we can get different smells, fragrance. So that's how the all tanmatras and the gross elements are interlinked. So here the sound is created, the sky is created, touch is created, and in the next chapter, the Purusha Sukta confirmed, the second chapter, Brahma is explaining everything to Narada. So here he was explaining this. These limbs, these senses are compared with the Virata Rupa, the universal form. When the ingredients, all the 24 elements are created in the first creation, in the second creation, when the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu enters into each university, what happens? That university takes some form with the ingredients, all these ingredients. So these senses are compared with Virata Rupa limbs. So the nose of the Virat Rupa. So actually, what is the purpose as explained, but how we are using those senses in the wrong way, that is also explained. For the Virat Rupa, actually the purpose of the nose is, these are predominantly, and the in charge of this nose is Aswani Kumaras. Basically, it is to smell, to smell the medicated herbs and to breathe. There are two purposes for the nose. For the smell, for the, it is generating the center for the fragrance, for the breathing. So that is the purpose of these sense organ. But we are using in a different, because it is perverted. That is the actual original. For the Lord's limbs, it is the original. The purpose is different. Because we are conditioned, we are covered by three modes, it is perverted. We are using that sense for different purposes. For the ears, the main purpose is to hear. These are the receptacles of Vedic knowledge. The purpose of the ear is to hear the Vedic knowledge. So the Virata Rupa ear is mentioned here is to hear the Vedic knowledge. But for mundane, in the mundane senses, in the material world, we are using the ear in a different way. So not for the right purpose. In the same way, eyes. So eyes are for various visions, illusions, illusionary, and that illuminations, and various lights, visions, to see the beautiful form of the Lord's. But here we are using the eyes for the different purposes. So it's a perverted deflection. That's why in this material world, these are contaminated. Senses are contaminated. The purpose is not matching here. And if you see the skin, from the skin, all the hymns are produced, generating center. The skin is generating center for the various hymns. So it is generating center for various touch and feelings. So we also using that skin for various reasons, to touch, feel. So mother hugs baby, so cuddles, hugs. Sometimes they fight. That is different. So different touches are happening. The actual touch is to experience the divine knowledge through the skin. So that is the purpose. Like this, the senses are compared with the Virata Rupa limbs. The actual purpose is explained. But because we are in the conditioned life, conditioned world, so we are using them for the different purposes. And also, if you see the prana is very nicely explained. That is the life protector. Life protector means without air we cannot survive. So the air in the third canto, the Maitreya and Vidura discussions, it was explained about the 10 types of pranas. And prana means there are prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana, naga, trikara, kumara, dhananjaya, devadatta. So these are the 10 types of air which flows in our body. So if you see prana, it is for the upper body. Apana is for the lower body. Prana means we inhale. That means we take inside the air for our survival. It is from the upper part, nose, mouth, we take air. Apana means from the lower part. So outside it goes through the anus. So waste air it goes, apana. Samana means the adjusting, that air adjusts the foodstuffs in our stomach. Because of that air, so all our digestion happens. It helps for the digestion. And sometimes we get burp. That is also because of samana. It adjusts the foodstuff. It adjusts the body. It helps for the digestion, assimilation, and all these processes. And udana. passes in the mouth and head. Sometimes you get dizzy. Sometimes we get the suffocation in the throat. So that is udana. So that helps us. It helps avoiding choking, suffocation. So these aids are so important for the body, because your surviving means these aids are flowing in different directions. They are helping us to maintain our body. So they are supporting our body. In the same way, Vyana, it circulates from the top to bottom for the whole body, and it is helping to balance the footsteps, blood, and everything. And the other one, Naga. Naga is, it is, that aid is very, very important for opening, for the eyes. Sometimes you close and open. That aid, Naga aid, helps us to open and close mouth. And Krikara, it helps for appetite. That helps. So it controls the indigestion and helps for the good appetite. And Kumara. Kumara, it helps for the contractions of muscles. So you can pull the hands, push the hands because of this aid. And Devadatta, it helps for, sometimes we get the anning, all of a sudden, involuntary. So anning, that aid helps for the anning. And Dhananjaya, so total sustenance of our body. These aids are helping for our survival. This is very, very important factor for our survival. And if you see the main character, that is mind. So mind is the one of the sixth sense. Actually, this is subtle element. It is one of the important element also. The mind is the decision make. Sometimes we make decisions, wrong or right, with the help of mind. Mind gives that um, suggestions to us. We think through the mind. Stores of thoughts. So many thoughts come in the mind, and so many desires also in the mind, and previous experiences. So we come with a package of so many impressions, swabhava, with the mind. Mind brings all these. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.6, it says, Bandhuratma tasya enatmainaka jita prajna. So that, so if it is your friend, so mind, if you train the mind, it will become your friend. If you're not training the mind, so it becomes you have to carve. So acharyas also explain that, just like a animal, even if from the beginning you train the lion is a very dangerous animal. If you train to be gentle from the beginning, it becomes so gentle like a cat. So all the zoo animals, so they become so gentle when you train them nicely. So in the same way, you have to train the mind from the beginning. So you have to train it. And if you control the mind, you become a Goswami. And if you're not controlling the mind, you become Godas. You have to listen. So whatever mind says, you do it. Mind says, I want to go to pub, so you go. So you're not controlling the mind. That means it becomes enemy for you. So you don't get any good qualities. So bandhuratmatmanastasya enatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanatastu satrutve vartetatmaiva satruvad. So it becomes your friend when you train the mind. So mind is so important. So everything depends on the mind. If mind is disturbed, so everything will be disturbed. So because if you see the hierarchy, the body is the material body. It's made of material elements. So these 24 elements are there in the body. So these, compared to the body, the senses are little bit higher. So senses, we get different experiences through the senses. Then after the senses, what happens? The mind. So mind is in between the intelligence and the senses. So if the mind is controlled by intelligence, proper intelligence, so automatically senses will be controlled. So mind is so important. And also, if you see, these senses are compared with, suppose if the senses are not using for the proper purposes, like ears are not using for the hearing Vishnu Kada, for the hearing the pastimes of Lord, devotees. So these are like snake ears. In the second kind of third chapter, Sukadeva Goswami is explaining from 20 to 24 verses. He is he is comparing the ears with the snake holes, snake ears. Snake have so many ears on the body, but they are not useful. That means useless. So if you are not using the senses properly, they are useless. Eyes also. The peacocks, the and the peacock, there are so many plums. It's like a eyes. Beautiful eyes are there, but they are useless. They can't hear the glories of the, just like a tongue. If you are using the tongue for the uh, unnecessary speaking, for mundane topics, politics, movies, sports, instead of glorifying the Lord, activities, Lord's gunas, Lord's name, so they are waste. So that means they invite death. So Todd, the frog, croaks, and snake comes and eat it. That means we are talking unnecessarily, means we're inviting our death only. So in the same way, the other parts like hands. So even though you are decorating with so many bangles, if you are not using for the service of Lord, for the cleaning, worshipping, cooking, so they are useless. Heart also, if you are not inviting Lord for the in the heart, so it is like a steel frame. So different analogies are given. And also in the 11th chapter, the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th chapter, the Avaduta Brahmana is explained to Edu. So knows how the bumblebee so attracts the smell, and it was captivated, the smell of the honey, and at the end of the day it was captivated by the flowers close and they die. In the same way, eyes, the analogy is given, a moth is attracted to the fire, so it likes the form, want to see the form all the times. So the fire, it goes towards the fire, it catches it. Right. So ear means deer. So the example is given deer. So it loves sound. So it goes to the, it want to go to hear the sound. Then the hunter comes. Hunter keeps very nice music for the to catch the deer. So it attracts the music and it caught by hunter. The skin, touch, feeling. The he elephant and she elephant always enjoys together with the touch. The tongue. Even the fish has lots of food in the ocean, water, in the rivers. It is get attracted by the fisherman. He gives little food, maybe carrot, bread, something, attracted to that, and it was taken by the fisherman. So in that way, so we have to use our senses for the proper purpose and not using unnecessarily. In the letter of instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami explains, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Vihva Vegam, Udarapasta Vegam. So these urges, these six urges of the mind, urges of the tongue, urges of the belly, genitals, they should be controlled. Urges of the senses should be diverted. So nobody is asking you to stop talking. You can talk. But what to speak, what to talk, that is very, very important. So unnecessarily, like a frog, we should not end up our life. So we have to utilize our life for the purpose, for the service of the Lord. So for that purpose, we have to survive. So you use your talks, use your speak. If it is beneficial, if it is truthful, if it is giving auspiciousness, it is giving to pleasure to everyone, you can speak. So these criteria met with the glories of Lord. When you speak about the Lord, Lord's pastimes, Lord's names, Lord's gunas, so these are all auspicious, these are all beneficial, these are all truthful, and they give pleasure to everyone. So in that way you can speak. And Lord's devotees, when you talk about the devotees, pure devotees of Lord, so it is beneficial for you. So in that way you can divert. So in the same way you can see. So instead of seeing the mundane beauty of the creation, you can see the beautiful form of the Lord. Then your eyes will be purified. The nose, so instead of unnecessarily fragrance from the mundane world, so use it for the smelling the tulsi flowers offered to the Lord. Skin, so touch the feet of the devotees, touch the deity while doing abhishekam, while decorating him, touch his feet, feel the experience. So he is giving, the Rupa Goswami is giving the how we can divert. So we can divert the belly also by fasting, by eating the prasadam only. That is the condition. Even genitals also we can control. How? By begetting the Krishna conscious children, not for the material pleasures. So here these information also given how to control these senses. So senses are very, very important because the Lord is created for our enjoyment. Enjoy. But you should know how to enjoy, how to experience the senses, how to take the senses in a positive way, how to use them in the positive way. What is the, you have to understand what is the purpose of senses are given ultimately. So if you compared the senses with the Virata Rupa, at the beginning. So what is the purpose of these senses? What I am doing with these senses? Whether I am doing these senses properly or not. So this body is outer covering. And inside, you have to see the inside. Just like if somebody is packing something so beautifully, so nicely. And the even though it is very nicely packaged, some if you see the gift bags, gift things, the package is so nice, beautifully they decorate and they wrap and they put the card and give. And the inside gift is not very appreciated. So what is the use of that packing? So in the same way, so the package, if somebody gives gift with a nice packing, you open it. So you're not about worrying about the outer covering, outer package of that gift. You see the gift, that is very important. In the same way, so these body is made of all these elements. Lord has provided these facilities. Use it for the service of the Lord. So we have to see inside soul, what soul needs. We are not seeing the outer coverings. If you see the body inside, what is there? Blood, flesh, the stool, urine, everything is there inside the body. But you are not seeing, so you are not seeing the soul. That is the important. So these coverings are given us to survive, to experience different knowledges. So you have to choose what knowledge I require. Sarvopadi vinirmukta tatparatena nirman. Rushikena Rishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Uttaram. Use those senses for the purification. So when you use those senses in the service of Lord, they get purified, automatically purified. So in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita also it says 59th verse, Vishaya Vinavartante Niraharasya Devi Rasavarjam Rasopavarjam Param Drushta Nivartate. So you get the higher taste. So automatically lower propensities will be given away. And if you see the chariot example, so the example, how the senses are compared. The chariot is the body and 5 senses are horses. And the mind is the rope controlled the horses. And who is controlling the rope? Driver. Driver is compared with the intelligence. The soul is passenger. So mind is the senses are, they are very prickle. That means they go here and there. So we have to control with the mind. The senses can be controlled by mind. How the mind is controlled? With the proper intelligence. If the buddhi is there, if you are using your intelligence properly, the horses go in a right direction. Then soul reaches the destination properly. So we have to understand in what way we can use our senses. So what knowledge we have to receive, what is the purpose of these senses. If you understand the purpose of these senses, so we can utilize why the Acharya's senses are divine. We can say these senses of Acharya is divine. So why the conditioned living entities, they are mundane? What is the difference? Because they use it for the mundane senses. The acharyas, the Goswamis, sages, great sages, rishis, they use senses for the higher realization, for the engage in the service of the Lord. That's why they are divine. So we have to use these senses in the service of Lord. So how we can do it? What are the inputs we can give it to mind? Those are scriptures. By studying the scriptures, we can divert our mind. We cannot do artificially. So today I can restrain my mind with this. No, we cannot do it. It is impossible. Mind, so we cannot stop thinking even for a second. Mind continuously thinks. But so we divert our mind with what you are giving, what are the inputs you are giving, how you are engaging your mind. That is so important. Suppose the small children are there, how the parents engage them, that is very important. If the parents are not engaging them properly, so they are so hyper, they are so energetic, so children, so have to give them proper channel, they have to use their energy in a proper way, otherwise they become so uh, uh, they become they do lots of mischievous arrogance. So like that, if you properly training them in engaging them in a proper way, they become obedient, humble, sincere, and well in studies. So it's all depends on how you are training. The same way you have to train our mind in such a way so that it engages in a proper way. Those are devotional service. Engage your mind in a devotional service through the scriptures, hearing, chanting, and association of devotees, so that mind will not think going here and there, wasting the time. So you plan your day in a such a way that mind is completely occupied. So controlling the mind, Rupa Goswami also mentioned that we cannot fill the mind with artificial vacuum. So we cannot fill with mundane things. So fill with the things so that mind gets divine, not mundane. So you are converting mind from the mundane thing to divine thing by giving all these inputs. Inputs are very important. So by engaging our senses in a proper way, we can serve the purpose. Why the senses are given? Why gross body is given? Gross elements are given. We can come to understand. So these 6 families are explained here: eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, and mind. These are very, very important because most of the knowledge we are acquiring through these elements only. These are very important elements, and we have to understand how we can divert these senses in a proper way. Eyes, give the eyes the beautiful darshan of Lord. Give the ears the hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita about the devotees, and the tongue, the prasadam to the tongue. Tongue has two functions: speaking and eating. So engage, if you engage the tongue, automatically all the other senses will be controlled. The skin also. So engage your hands. with the service of Abhishekam, deity worship. So like that, serving the gurus, like that, sadhu sangha. So these are all explained. Yeah. So hands and legs, mouth also controlled by engaging them in the service of Lord. So I will conclude today's class by ending this. If anybody wants to add anything, you can add. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Dandavata Pranam.
Dandavata Pranam, Prabhuji.
A nice translation of nice input of this text 56, 57 is really amazing because it gives the whole picture of this creation, and to understand the creation and the object of this creation through this Virat Roop help us to understand the importance, how it is interlinked with the Lord's creation and our body. They are interrelated, and all these things comes from Lord Himself. It is not artificially made. It is the same form in the Lord itself. So it is the replica of the Lord's, and it is given to human body so that it can be properly utilized. And the purpose is to connect to the Supreme Soul. The soul has its own purpose, as this text reminds us how these senses are to be utilized in the purpose of glorifying the Lord. So there is an interconnection of the gross senses with the subtle senses, so that the purpose of this creation is met. It is not for to be used in the wrong way. It is to be used in the rightful purpose, so that the purpose of creation of the Lord is fully satisfied. That's why here in the text, it is the Brahmana, as the super soul, has come to remind the soul of Vaidarbhi, so that she can understand the purpose, what is the relation of the soul and the super soul. So your tabulation of this entire creation chart has given us the impact that this understanding of this knowledge acquiring senses, as well as the working senses, how they interrelatedly work, and the purpose is to use them in the rightful way, not in the wrongful way. That is what you reflected as this, as the what is the real nature of the the material senses as well as the transcendental senses. They are interrelated, but that can be easily managed through the proper association, and that's why these senses are to be used in a proper way through this Guru, Shastra and Sadhu. So those are the three elements that help us to engage the senses in the rightful manner, so that it can be acted for the purpose of the Supreme Lord. And that is the takeaway of this text. Thank you so much, elaborating the whole thing in a very shortful way. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for adding so many points. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna. Anybody?
Mostly doesn't seem to be. So in the class here. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
कृपासिन्धुभैवच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय हर ग्रेट सावित्री माता जी की जय शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंद की हरि हरि बोल ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबली हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
Thank